Welcome to the BioE Lab. This video will demonstrate laboratory safety protocols that are expected within the bioengineering department, particularly within the mechanical sections of this course. Let's first start off with load frames and discuss how you can be safe while operating this equipment. When working with the load frames, one must keep in mind all aspects of safety, which includes wearing the appropriate PPE. Operation of the machines will also require you to remain attentive to your experiments and ensure you have the appropriate safety measures to keep you and your fellow students safe. Ensure limits are set appropriately, and when running tests, take care to make sure the test stand stops before any overload error. Never move the platens with your fingers near the grips or plates. To set the stop limits on the load frame, follow these steps. Loosen the thumb screw on the lower grip stop marker and lower it to the bottom position. Ensure the speed is set slow enough that you can get the grips very close without them running into each other. Drive the top grip until it is nearly in contact with the bottom grip. Be prepared to stop the grip to prevent running the grips into one another. You want around 1 to 2 millimeters between the two grips if you are testing the sample to failure. While observing the control panel, slowly bring the lower limit stop until you observe the lower limit trigger. Tighten the thumb screw. Verify the setting by bringing the grip up, then slowly driving it down again. Be prepared to stop the load frame in the event that the limit switch is not set properly. When preparing for a compression tensile test, make sure you have an understanding of how to set the appropriate speeds, units, and that the software is functional on the associated computer. Use gloves when handling hydrogels, and always wear safety glasses when running compression tests. Always use dissection kits and wear gloves and safety goggles when preparing samples. Dispose of sharps in an appropriate labeled sharps container. Refer to testing standards for sample geometries. For example, in compression, the ratio of the cross-sectional area to the height should be controlled to prevent buckling. Always center the specimen in the grips. Prepare samples to a consistent height as best as possible to ensure quality data. Please follow the safety guidelines previously mentioned when you're also handling any electronics and hand tools. Next, we will demonstrate additional lab safety for all electronics. All electrical wiring needs to be inspected prior to use. It is important to notice if any wires are damaged or torn to prevent any risk of electrocution. If you notice a damaged wire, notify your instructor or TA, and they will either fix it or send it to someone who is qualified and properly trained to fix damaged electrical wiring. To further ensure your safety with electrical wiring, please do not use wires as supports. Never pull on live wires. Always report any electrical failure. Pay attention to any evidence of equipment overheating. And always inspect electrical equipment periodically to be certain the insulation is not damaged in any way. Never work on any circuits or other types of equipment while they are connected to a wall outlet. All designs should utilize a transformer that converts the high voltage alternating current supplied by the building to a low power DC voltage, usually 12 volts or less. But if higher voltages are required, please discuss with your instructor or TA. Always wear safety glasses when working on live circuits. Even low voltage circuits can arc and electrical components can explode if incorrectly wired or if plugged in backwards. While rewiring a circuit board, ensure that there is no current going through at that time. Ensure you have proper calculations with the amount of current going through your circuit board. This is important as it may damage or fry your board if too much current is going through. Remember that many electrical components, such as capacitors, have a polarity to them and can explode if introduced to the circuit with polarity reversed. This typically happens when a circuit is initially powered up after alterations have been made, so use extra caution when first powering up a new circuit. While soldering, ensure that you are also in a well-ventilated area, and keep your head away from the smoke plume, as soldering does produce smoke and is not safe for inhalation. Ensure you have extra solder in your hands, and the wire is long enough to prevent the risk of burning your fingers. Make sure that the soldering tip is cleaned by either using flux core or tipped tinner that is nearby for easy prompt access. Always ensure the soldering iron is unplugged after use. Hand tools can be very hazardous without proper precautions. Upon entering the designated room of hand tools, ensure that you're always wearing safety goggles at all times. Make sure that you know how to operate the hand tools you need to use. If you do not know, contact a TA or instructor. They can show you how to use it. When using high-speed cutoff wheels, ensure that your head and eyes are not in line with the spinning disc. Keep your head off to the side so any shrapnel goes over your shoulder or in case the wheel comes apart under high speeds. Always ensure your drill bits are secured in the drill. Always let your instructor know if you find damaged, dull, or missing drill bits. Common machines that you may run into include 3D printers, box cutters, and hot wire foam cutters. When using a 3D printer, the print head, part, and print bed get extremely hot. Always use caution when removing parts from the printer to avoid burning yourself. To avoid heat damage to the machine, never turn the printer off while the fan is running. Use caution when removing the part from the base. Always point sharp objects away from your body, and ensure your fingers are also out of harm's way. While using the box cutter, ensure that you are cutting away from yourself, and keep in mind the precautions that have been previously stated. Be aware of your surroundings and ensure your hands are placed properly to prevent any accidents. Change dull blades as needed, as dull blades often result in more accidents than properly sharp ones. While using a hot wire foam cutter, please follow the precautions that have been previously stated. Ensure that you are also in a well-ventilated area and keep your head out of the smoke plume, as the hot wire foam cutter does produce smoke and is not safe for inhalation. By following these guidelines and being aware of the appropriate load frame, hand tools, and electronic safety protocols, this will help ensure your safety during experiments. Please do not hesitate to address any concerns of others not abiding by laboratory safety protocols. You will not only be protecting yourself, but also other personnel working in the lab.